Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We are finally here. I'm so excited. My name is Danita Ogandaga. I am the creator of Story Keepers, and I am here to interview the one and only
Hi.
Tamisa Barrow Ham,
Hey, everyone.
the author of No Hell No and Not Anymore. Are y'all ready for this? I don't think they're ready.
I don't think they're ready,
I don't
but
think
I'm
they're
ready.
ready.
I'm
Okay.
ready to share and tell my story.
She was born ready. Okay, so I hope y'all are ready. So y'all, I'm just so excited that we have this opportunity so that you all can really get to understand the mind
Yes.
and the story that went into the creation of this book. I'm
Awesome.
telling you, this book is selling like hotcakes
That's good.
on social media and in person.
Awesome.
And that's a wonderful thing.
It is.
So I want to just give you all an opportunity for Tamisa to just tell you who she is. Okay, so you can fall in love all over again, and you can go to that link and buy her book and stay tuned because this is just the beginning of what she's going to do. So
That is
Tamisa,
correct.
tell us a little bit about Tamisa.
Tamisa. Tamisa is a hardworking, and I try to be very honest and open and direct with people. I never want anyone to wonder what I'm thinking about them or thinking in general. I just think it's best to just put it out there.
And you do in this book. Absolutely, you do.
Well, it's important to learn to live your best life.
And you do that.
Thank you.
Which is why your name just changed.
It is. It is. I recently just got married to my husband. His name is James, and he's an amazing man. He treats me like the queen that I am.
Can you tell by that smile? All right.
Awesome.
All right. Where are you from? Tell us where you're from.
I'm originally from Miami, Florida. Hey, Dade County.
All right. It's a lot of people that I know from Dade. So how and what brought you here to Georgia?
What brought me here to Georgia was the job market.
Okay.
For the industry that I work in, which is human resources and finance. It's just a bigger job market here, and I want what everybody else wants. I want to make more money so I can live even more comfortable than what I already am. So.
Right. Now I want to play a small game with you, Tamisa, so it can kind of help to sort of break the ice with those that are watching that may be trying to hold their attention. And they're just like, God, I just want to buy the book. Yes, you can go ahead. The link is right there. But for those that want to know a little bit more about you, I want you to tell us about 3 things about you that people may not know. Because when you look at this book and when you start reading the book, you're probably going to be like, and if you have already read it, don't give it away. Tell them to go and buy their own copy.
That's right.
But I'm telling you, when you're reading the book, you're just like, how could someone go through what you went through and still be smiling the way that you're smiling? So what are 3 things about you that you want people to know before we go any further?
Okay. Well, one thing that some of my friends and family know, but my followers and subscribers may not know, is that I am a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. Something else about me that they may not know. I think that I'm a great cook.
She is.
I love trying new recipes. I love feeding family and friends. And another thing, I don't know. I just it's not a new point at my life, but it helped encourage write this book. I am really at that stage in my life where I will not take no for an answer when it comes to my well-being and my happiness.
The no, the hell no,
And
the
not
anymore. All right. Well, that's good. I think it's really good to set a precedence with people so that they can begin to know who you are. And I really think that as they begin to know you, they're going to really begin to fall in love with who you are and just the essence of what made you do what you do. Now, Tamisa, when you sat down to write this book, we see what the result is. We see that it's an actual book.
It is.
But when it was in your mind and on its way to the paper, Tell us a little bit about what that process was like. To walk us through that process.
Well, I've always have found it easy to talk to people, to mentor people. Sometimes I think I'm just that person that'll tell you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear.
Right.
And for years I've had family and friends saying, you should write a book, you should write a book.
Right.
People would love to hear, what you have to say.
Yes.
And I've been told that for a very long time. And I've had some life experiences that I felt could help all of us grow as a person themselves, and to just learn to just be a better you. There's always room for improvement, and even though I feel like I'm at an amazing point in my life right now, there's still room for improvement because I am not perfect.
Right.
I'm trying, but I'm not there yet.
I got you. Well, I think, when it comes to looking at a book and people, wondering how they can get into writing, they may say, nobody's going to listen to me, or nobody's going to have to think about what I will have to say, or nobody's going to purchase my book. Mm-hmm. How did you make the transition from a professional, which you still are, and are at the top of your game in doing that, to now making room for being, a wife and a daughter and now an entrepreneur and an author? How did you make that transition?
It took dedication.
Yeah.
It took a lot of putting myself first and my needs and wants first.
Yes.
It has been a dream of mine for a long time to write a book, but to just take a break from the day-to-day to actually sit down and write the words or record the words. It's a process.
Yes.
And I've enjoyed the process, and I'm still going through the process because I've been accepted so well by others about this book. I've already been asked to write another. Yes. And I do have plans and ideas for the next book, so stay tuned.
Yes, which leads us to the next point. What are some things, the book, I don't want to give it away, but the book talks a lot about relationships. It talks a lot about health.
Yes.
It talks a lot about those taboo topics that we don't really want to talk about.
Right.
What did this book mean for you?
This book for me was it was a releasing vessel as well as a teaching vessel. I think it's being accepted so well by the public is because for so many years each generation has been taught what goes on in the house stays in the house.
Yes.
And then so many of us need help, need advice, but they're too afraid to actually talk about it and reach out to someone.
Yes.
But this wonderful world that we live in now is full of readers.
Yes.
Whether there are long novels or there are short stories, a newspaper article, people love to read. And if I can teach or share my story, just by selecting a few people who have chosen to purchase my book, then it was all worth it. To me, I got it all out of my head and I put it on paper. So even though I wrote the book, I still reflect back to it from time to time. Because like I said, we're not perfect. We're still always striving to be better. And sometimes I need words of encouragement from my own book. So that's where I am with that one.
I think one of the things that really resonated with me was in the book, Tamisa talks about my mess and my message. And when we're talking about authenticity and vulnerability, society and social media teaches us that we don't really want to give away our best selves because we want to keep our stuff to ourselves. But what I'm realizing is the more that we relate to people and are relatable, they are able to see that we're just like them.
Exactly.
And we're trying to get out of something. There's an issue. There is how you got out of it. And what I love about your book is that you give people a resolve, a resolution. And I think a lot of times, a lot of the books out there will tell people about their issue and it'll give them their story,
and then that's it.
But then they stop there.
Yeah.
They don't tell them the resolve. And
Yeah.
I think the reason why this book is selling so well is because you're actually giving people a blueprint.
Yes.
And I love that. So I want to know if you can read My Mess and My Message, so that if there are people out there that are wondering or may be on the fence about, well, should I order the book?
Right.
You're not going to be on the fence very long, because once she reads this to you, you're going to begin to say, hey, that's me, or
Yes.
I feel like I can relate to that. So why don't you take a moment, Tamisa, and read My Mess and My Message.
Sounds good. My Mess and My Message is one of the chapters in my book. Should family secrets remain hidden? Should our personal struggles remain hidden? Should we be satisfied with living a half life or just surviving? Mm-hmm. Is it okay to teach this behavior and mindset to our kids? Mm-hmm. Is it okay to be broke forever? Is it okay to just give up? Mm-hmm. Do I deserve to be half loved? Will it ever be my time to love in? Will people love me for me? No, hell no, and not anymore. My mess is not pretty. I am sure yours is ugly too, but guess what? It is what it is, and there is nothing we can do about it except to learn what we should not be doing anymore. Things come to the surface, not so they can breathe, but for you to chop the hell out of it from your life and say no, hell no, and not anymore. It's time to thrive. Love, light, Tamisa Barrow.
That's powerful. And I love what you're talking about, because you're talking about generational legacies in mind.
Exactly.
What do you think about that?
I have often said to myself, the millennium generation that we see now, very young and bright and smart,
yes,
intelligent
yes.
generation. But I see that they lack guidance. And my parents, blessed to have two sets of parents, but one of my sets of parents that raised me, my mother Pearl, instilled some really great values in me, be it positive or negative.
Right.
So I learned from what she told me. Mm-hmm. I learned from her actions, whether they were good or bad.
Right.
It made me build to be a better person.
Right.
So I try to teach my daughter the things that she wasn't able to learn from her grandmother that I learned. I try to teach that to her. So she's that next generation, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that she's the best woman that she can possibly be. Mm-hmm. And again, she's not perfect, but I want to help build her and a lot of other women and men to be their better person.
Yes.
You know, everyone has a lot to offer, even if you feel like you have nothing to offer, but you do.
Right.
But you have to prepare yourself first.
True.
Before you can place your self-worth to other people. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm hoping that people will get from this book.
Yeah. And I love what you said, because I think a lot of us, whether we are, baby boomers or, whatever our class may be, a lot of people feel as though once they are categorized in a group, they're just destined to be there.
Exactly.
But I love how you say, even you knowing that you have a daughter that you want to instill things in and move her along, you're starting with yourself first.
Yes,
and you're being the example, and then she's learning from you, and you're teaching her. So each one is teaching one, but we start by teaching ourselves.
Exactly.
And I love that. And I think now more than ever, a lot of the self-help books, people are realizing, I got to do more.
Exactly.
I can't just tell you about my super story and how I got out. I got to tell you the honest truth that sometimes you're going to have struggle.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have struggles.
Yeah,
you're going to have
a little
struggles.
bit. Absolutely.
But I just, it's important, if you are a person of faith, become closer with that faith, and it will guide you to a whole different level.
Yeah.
And there will be times you will get discouraged. But don't let that sway you. Just keep your faith, keep your mind sharp and focused to deal away with the toxic people and things.
Right.
That's important. If you get rid of that toxicity, you'll be fine.
Absolutely.
You'll be fine. And it's okay. If you're dealing with getting rid of those things, don't feel guilty about it.
Right.
It's because it's your self-help.
That's true.
Your peace of mind is priceless.
That's true. Now I want to take some time and just kind of talk about something that's dear to me.
Okay.
And that is just the process of writing this book. And I truly believe that God himself was the glue, to your whole development and your whole process.
Right.
And, I don't want you to kind of give it away to your readers just yet, but I think the way that we even came into contact was just amazing. And I don't want to be the one that tells it. I want you to tell it, because I really think the way that we came into knowing each other and the way we sat down and, just had a conversation.
Right.
It just really brought about so much. So I'm going to be quiet. Give me some tissue just in case I need it.
Danita is crazy.
But I really just want, because I really believe that there may be someone that's listening to this interview and maybe they've given up on friendship,
right,
or sisterhood, or the ability to be able to be vulnerable with someone, or to be able to, I guess, seek help.
Right.
And so I want you to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to put the tissue down. But I'm just excited about that.
I know. Well, Danita, during this process, has become not just my friend, but a really close sister. She has confided in me. I have confided in her. And we started out as neighbors. Yes. Just passing by, the everyday shuffle of work, running errands on the weekend. And I'm pretty sure we passed each other a million times before we was like, hey, where you live at? And literally neighbors, right upstairs, downstairs. Yes. And we met at our favorite place, Starbucks.
Oh, God.
We met at Starbucks just to break away from the day-to-day, and we created a bond, a friendship. And then she was like, Tamisa, you have so much knowledge, you should write a book. I was like, you know what? People tell me that all the time. I said, but I have some thoughts, I just haven't took the time to do it. She goes, well, my husband and I, that's what we do. I was like, what?
Storykeepers.
Yes. That, her company, her and her husband, Darcy, thank you, Darcy, are owners of Storykeepers, and they are an amazing company that took me through the whole process. So it's important, sometimes we are sheltered, laid back, and I'd be the first to say I'm like that. I was very cautious of who I'd let into my circle, because it's all about getting rid of that toxic. So if I've worked so hard to get the toxic out, I work even harder to make sure no more toxic comes in. So you have to be open to love, not just from a partner or a significant other, but to friendship.
That's so true.
To friends. And always remember that friends, people come into your life for a season.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be there for the rest of your life. They come in to give you what God has sent them that you need at the time, and then they move on.
Right. Yeah, I think that's beautiful, because I know just about, I'm not going to say every person that I work with, but they have some story where it's sort of been a closed door.
Right.
And I have to say, even with myself, just, when you are, going about life and you're doing things, you realize that level of toxic, and you realize what you contribute to it, and you realize what others contribute to it.
Exactly.
And a lot of times we run from our own development, and we don't realize that a lot of our development is really tied into someone being your reflection.
Exactly.
And showing you. And like, okay, but you're really not like that, because I just made you laugh, and you laugh, and
right.
you're trying to act all serious and stuff, but you really like to laugh.
And
I have to say that you've been that for me, because you know, when you're going through the transitions of life and you're just like, I think I just want to concentrate on my family and my kids. I don't want to let these toxic females, I don't want to do that.
That's true.
But you just like, no, you're going to be my friend. We're going to be friends.
Yes.
And I said the same thing. And I'm so thankful because it has really created wealth to my life,
yes.
you know, and I'm just grateful for that. And
sometimes those friends need to be in your life to help you see your better self.
Yes.
Clearer.
Yes, and you see how she just upgraded my hair and my nails, and you know, I'm just thankful. Yeah, but that's what we do. Iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
And I really believe it's important to get you some iron in your life. It's important. It's important.
I love that.
So Tamisa, let me just conclude by saying this. I know that you did not just write this book for nothing, okay? There was a progression from the no to the hell no to the not anymore, and people are going to get all of that when they read this book.
I hope so.
But what can people expect from Tamisa Barrow Ham in the months to come, in the years to come? What do you have planned that you can share with us right now?
Okay, well, planning speaking engagements, book signing tour, doing more videos for the different channels, Facebook, IGTV, YouTube channel.
Yes.
And
subscribe.
Even, yes, please subscribe, and reaching out a little bit more to LinkedIn.
Yes.
And I think LinkedIn because I am a hardworking professional.
Yes, she is.
And we don't really take a lot of time out for ourselves. So I felt like I need to go to where they are, and which is on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And in the years to come, just focusing more on marketing the book and getting that second book out.
Yes.
Like I said, I do have a couple of topics actually for two more books. Very different subject matter.
Yes.
Than you would normally think, but I think I can pull it off. I think
you can.
I think people will want to listen about it.
And they will.
And I just want to continue to enjoy life.
Yes.
Enjoy my new husband.
Yes.
And just continue building our life together and continuing to learn each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
So y'all, thank you so much. No, hell no, not anymore. Reclaiming my life from toxic
people and things.
Tamisa Barrow. You can reach her at your website.
My website is tamisabarrow.com. You can reach the website to learn a little bit more about my story. You can sign up for the email notification group, ask me questions. There's a store. If you purchase my book actually on my website, you'll actually get an autographed copy.
Yes.
The book is available on Amazon, but it won't be a signed copy.
Yes.
So
get your signed copy.
Signed copy delivered by going to my website. And if you have any questions, or you want to talk about certain topics, or you want to give me ideas of what you want to hear on my next video, go to the website and drop me an email. I promise I'll respond.
Told y'all she's ready. I hope y'all are ready. So
Awesome.
y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.